Tonight, Calhoun County leaders say they have fixed the mistake that led to concerns from residents regarding their fire service. A misprinted date in a newly passed fire ordinance has sparked concern, confusion, and even a temporary shutdown of Sandy Run's volunteer fire department. Within the last few hours, though, they held a special meeting to correct this problem. News 19's Victoria Samuels has tonight's story.
The attorney was actually aware of it that morning and just made a mistake. It was supposed to have gotten corrected. It's really, a really minor change. Obviously it doesn't change anything with the ordinance or anything like that. But the concern that came out of that was that it somehow meant that fire departments weren't authorized any longer to operate with the county.
It was a clerical error that set off a wave of concern across Calhoun County. That's according to county officials. A new fire ordinance meant to take effect on July 1st instead said it was going into effect immediately, creating legal confusion for the county's volunteer fire departments. The ordinance calls for the elimination of the current fire taxing districts and to put them into one single county-wide tax district. The goal is to create several full-time firefighters. However, the mistaken date caused the Sandy Run Fire Department to halt operations out of fear that the ordinance immediately canceled their current insurance contracts and that their personnel and equipment might not be insured. For volunteers like Ginger Hardy, the issue runs deeper than a typo. She says the department felt excluded from the process entirely.
We were not considered part of the evaluation or the planning of this ordinance before it got put in place. We were told by our councilwoman, Ms. Bonnet, a week prior to the first council meeting that this was going to happen, and we as Sandy Run or any other fire department were not contacted in reference to this ordinance.
For residents like Joni Fisher, who experienced the house fire last year, the thought of losing nearby fire coverage is terrifying.
I will sing my volunteer firefighters' praises all day long. In our house fire, they were able to respond within 7 minutes of us calling 911, and that's a great response time. For a volunteer to come out at 10 p.m. at night.
In response, County Council held a special called meeting Thursday afternoon to officially fix the date in the ordinance and reassure departments, especially Sandy Run, that they're supported. Ginger Hardy told News 19 that Sandy Run Fire Department would be back up and running on Friday. In Calhoun County, Victoria Samuels, News 19, WLTX.